Another beautiful night in the desert. We welcome you to downtown Phoenix, Arizona, as the Diamondbacks are back on the home front, and they kick off a 6-game homestand with a first of 3 as interleague baseball arrives at Bank One Ballpark for the first time this year. The Diamondbacks getting the win yesterday, ending that 5-game losing streak, picking up a half game on the idle San Diego Padres, 3.5 back in the West. Meanwhile, in the American League Central Division, the Twins have won that division 3 straight years. They're 4 behind the White Sox, who have the best record in all of baseball. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Mark Grace, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Arizona Diamondbacks baseball. Gracie, no two ways about it. A tough trip for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but they capped off the road trip with a win and now trying to build on that.
That's exactly what happened, and the Diamondbacks came out and whacked the ball all over Philadelphia yesterday. 5 big runs in the first, backed it up with 2 runs in the second, came out, set a great tone, and that just makes for a much better 5-hour trip back here to Arizona. You got some momentum coming into interleague play.
Now you take a look at the pitching matchups against a very, very good Minnesota Twins team, and the Diamondbacks are getting their 3 horses. Radke tonight, Santana tomorrow, and Kyle Loesch on Thursday. You see Claudio Vargas, because of the doubleheader, will make his Diamondback debut to Gracie here tomorrow night.
I see some low-scoring games. The Twins are very good pitching. They don't walk anybody. They do an unbelievable job of not beating themselves. They make all the plays defensively. They are great base runners. This is a fun team to watch. If you appreciate good fundamental baseball, you are going to love these next 3 days watching the Minnesota Twins.
And especially in their outfield, where you have a tremendous balance of speed, power, good defense. This is an outstanding trio in the Minnesota outfield.
Well, you said it, and you're not going to see the Twins hit a bunch of home runs, but what they do is move runners over, big base hits, lots of doubles. Those are the extra base hits they get. These guys are just very well coached, very well schooled, and very well prepared.
When we come back, Big Todd Walsh standing by to bring you up to date on what's been happening on draft day. The Diamondbacks, the #1 pick in the nation, and they go with Justin Upton out of Chesapeake, Virginia. The Diamondbacks have taken the field at Bank One Ballpark. Ron Gardenhire took over for Tom Kelly in 3 straight years, has led the Twins to the American League Central Division Championship. His batting order tonight: Shannon Stewart is in left field, Brent Abernathy the second baseman, Joe Mauer behind the plate, Torrey Hunter in center, Jock Jones in right, Matthew LeCroy is at first. A ladder third of Michael Kadire, Juan Castro, and Brad Radke. And on the mound for the Diamondbacks, our Gatorade pitching report on 4-4 left-hander Sean Estes.
Well, Sean Estes coming back off an outing in New York when he locked horns with the great Pedro Martinez. He came up short in that effort, but he threw the ball relatively well early, ran into trouble late. So he'll try to bounce back against this pesky Twin lineup.
Incidentally, Pedro Martinez carried a no-hitter through 6 innings tonight. Pedro finishing off the Houston Astros. That is the only non-interleague game in Major League Baseball today. Look at the Diamondbacks defensively, presented by Rico. Jose Cruz Jr. manning center field, flanked by Sean Green and Luis Gonzales. Along the infield, look who's back at first. Chad Tracy, the clean-shaven, on the head and on the face at first base.
Changing things around is one Chad Tracy.
And Chris Snyder, along with Estes, the Diamondbacks back. So the Minnesota Twins in town. Second to the Chicago White Sox going into play tonight in the American League Central Division. Twins would be leading the wild card and are leading the wild card. There's ball 1 to Shannon Stewart, and we are underway. Stewart, a .287 batter, 8 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Good power in that leadoff spot. Fastball high and away, and it's quickly 2-0. The Twins have won 7 of their last 8, 12 of their last 18. Much like the Diamondbacks, they play a lot of very close games. They've played 11 extra inning games already this season.
That's amazing. A little windy up here tonight, Tom. Stuff blowing everywhere up here.
2-1 to Shannon Stewart. And he fouls it out of play. Boy, it's a beautiful night again here tonight in downtown Phoenix. Since we last left, you know, the temperatures were 105 about every day for a week. now they're right in the mid-90s. Night times dropping into the 70s. And the roof wide open.
I'll say it again. It's why we live here.
Amen. 2-2 to Stewart. High and away, and the count runs full to the Minnesota left fielder. Strike 3 called. Stewart didn't think so. But Laz Diaz, a home plate umpire, rings him up.
Well, let's see if Stewart has a gripe here. He thinks that ball's up, but that's about bell tie. That is a high strike. Stewart didn't think so.
So now to be Brett Abernathy getting playing time at second base. Taking over for Nick Punto, who is on the disabled list. He has a hamstring injury, and they're thinking he's going to be out at least 3 weeks. Punto, a good, solid player.
Now the Twins are full of just good, solid players. No real bona fide greats or superstars. I mean, sure, Shannon Stewart is a terrific player. Torrey Hunter's a terrific player. And, of course, their Cy Young Award winner, you'll see him tomorrow, Johan Santana. But they're just a bunch of good, solid, fundamentally sound players.
Bunted up the third base line and foul. 1-2 to Abernathy, playing in just his 6th game, 4 hits and 13 at bats. Abernathy has spent time with Tampa Bay and just recently called up when Punto went down. It's amazing they've overhauled this entire club in the infield since a team 2 years ago that played in the American League Championship Series. Back then they had Doug Mientkiewicz at first, Luis Rivas at second, Christian Guzman at short, and Corey Koski down at third. A.J. Pierzynski was their catcher.
And their DH was Ortiz.
Grounded foul. And yet they just keep on winning.
Not Russ Ortiz. David Ortiz.
The big fella in Boston.
There's Russ. Put your fingers out of your mouth, Russ.
Russ going to get the ball here on Friday night against Kansas City. Royals come rolling in. 2-2 to Abernathy. Diamondbacks having to spot start Claudio Vargas tomorrow night because of the rain out on Friday, having the doubleheader on Saturday. Claudio's ready to roll.
Had a little conversation with Claudio yesterday. Boy, you stand next to him. That's a big man.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, a big man.
Second straight hitter. Estes has run the count full. Tonight, the first time Estes has ever pitched against Minnesota, leaving Boston is the only club he has never faced in his big league career. Line under the glove of Troy Gloss into left field. A one-out single by Abernathy. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer.
Well, let's take a look at Troy. He's there, but it just slides underneath the big fella's glove. That'll go as a base hit, no doubt.
So now Mauer, highly touted prospect. Not only an outstanding baseball player, but they say was an unbelievable football player. In fact, it signed a national letter of intent to play football at Florida State. And they don't just hand out scholarships to anybody to play football at FSU.
You think Bobby Bowden came to his house? Hey, son, I think you need to come down here to Florida State. Play a little football.
And they can play some football at Florida State.
Some terrific football. I love those Bobby Bowden interviews.
Oh, he's the best.
Dadgummit.
Mauer, the first overall pick, much like Justin Upton of the Diamondbacks today. That was in June of 2001. And really his minor league numbers are not much to write home about at all. Ground ball to short. Plate counts. And that's a double play. Nicely done by Clayton, and then the turn by Counsell. By G. As Craig Counsell at second, Chad Tracy at first, Luis Gonzales in left field. Troy Gloss at third, Sean Green coming off a big day in right. Jose Cruz Jr. in center, a latter third of Royce Clayton, Chris Snyder, and Sean Estes. Against 32-year-old right-hander Brad Radke. He's been among the game's best over the last decade.
Well, if you look at those numbers really closely, Tom, you'll see that Brad Radke has more wins than walks this inning. Enough said.
Got to stack 3 walks the entire year in 82 innings. Now, Radke is susceptible to the home run ball. In 80-plus innings this year, he has given up 13 home runs. And by far his worst inning this season, and I mean by a long shot, is the very first inning. In the first inning this season, his earned run average is over 10, and opponents are batting .368. After that, the ERA goes to 2.5.
That's very typical of your star pitchers.
And Counsell dumps one into right center field. Well, Craig Counsell, a hitless game yesterday, and he's back on track his first at bat today. We look at the Twins defensively, brought to you by Arco AM/PM. Perennial Gold Glove winning Torrey Hunter, flanked by Stewart and Jones. Along the infield, Abernathy filling in for Punto, but Castro is just setting the world on fire defensively for the Twins this year. And Bauer behind the plate. Castro finally getting a chance after all these years to play every day. And they say he's been better than they could have ever dreamed of. Chad Tracy takes ball 1.
And I was saying about Brad Radke, a typical star pitcher is, yeah, it takes him a while to get their rhythm. He's a feel pitcher. He's a guy that's his best pitch is his changeup. He's got a terrific changeup. And it takes him about anywhere from 15 to 25 pitches to start to get a feel for that changeup and start to get a feel for the release point, because he's a corners pitcher.
Fastball at the knees, 1-1 to Chad Tracy, who sat and watched a great deal on this road trip. Tony Clark was so hot that Tony got the majority of playing time. But Tracy is the Diamondbacks' everyday first baseman, and he's back in there tonight.
And that scouting report, you can tell, has certainly been passed around the Diamondbacks clubhouse, that he has only walked 3 guys. He's going to be around the plate, Tom. How many times have you seen Craig Counsell come up and swing at the first pitch of the game? I don't think I've seen it yet this year, but he knows Radke's going to throw a strike on the first pitch, so why not take a whack at it?
1-1 to Chad Tracy. And just off the outside corner. It truly is staggering. Radke is by far the leader in Major League Baseball, percentage-wise, of throwing strikes on the first pitch. Nearly 78% of the time, he throws strike 1.
And that's why you appreciate Craig Counsell. He's got a game plan. He knows the guy he's going up against.
Pulled into right field. A base hit. Counsell will stop at second base. Charging hard was Jock Jones.
Well, you see the pitch. It's down. Chad Tracy goes down, digs it out. And that's just what the doctor ordered for the D-backs. First 2 guys on base with the G-force coming up.
Well, you couldn't be any hotter than Luis Gonzales was in the Philadelphia series. 10 for 16, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 4 batted in, 3 walks, scored 6 runs. Fastball high and away to Gonzo. Troy Gloss back in the lineup tonight at third base. He's in the on deck circle. And fouled away. 1-1 to Gonzales. Well, the entire road trip for Gonzales. You see the 2 home runs. Both of them came in Philadelphia, as did the 4 runs batted in. He only had one hit in New York.
1 for 12 in the Big Apple. That just shows you just how, I mean, sizzling he was in Philadelphia, along with Tony Clark.
Council and Tracy aboard in the opening inning. 1-1 to Gonzales, and it's hammered into right center field. It will go to the wall. Rounding third, Council. Rounding third, Tracy. They both will score.
Tom, you called it. Brad Radke has really struggled in the first inning, and he's faced 3 hitters, giving up 3 ropes. Let's see this pitch. That's just a fastball right down at the knees where Gonzo loves it, and he just drills it off the wall. What a great jump by Chad Tracy. Never hesitated. Good slide around. I mean, he was off on the crack of the bat, and that's the only thing that enabled him to score, because Torrey Hunter played that perfectly off the wall.
Gonzo now 37 runs batted in to tie up Troy Gloss for the team lead in that category. And here's Gloss. Tardy on a fastball. 0-1. Look at the new look Chad Tracy. Aerodynamically sound.
That's why he scored. Got rid of those red locks. And there it is. The bald-headed Chad Tracy going to Matt Williams' barber.
0-2 to Gloss. Well, Brian Bruni shaved his head, but he kept the facial hair, the little goatee thing going.
And you know, it's good to see Chad Tracy get up. He's been sitting down the last 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week, with Tony Clark so hot. And that's got to do some damage to a kid's confidence. It's good that he got up there against a great pitcher like Radke. He got himself a base hit and is involved in this scoring.
Gloss gone on 3 straight pitches. So Gonzales doesn't move.
Well, they called him on the check swing. They didn't call it a strike. Laz Diaz went down to first base. Umpire Dana DeMuth, and Gloss knew he went. That was a good call by Dana DeMuth.
Now Sean Green, coming off a big day yesterday. Greeny back in the lineup. Had a 3-run triple in the opening inning, a sac fly RBI in the second. Added a double and scored a run later in the game. Would be nice if that really jumpstarts Sean Green. In observance of National Hunger Awareness Day, Shamrock Farms, FSN Arizona, and the Diamondbacks have teamed up with Arizona food banks to hit out hunger. During tonight's game, the Diamondbacks' on-field performance will help fight hunger by earning donations of Shamrock Farms milk for Arizona food banks. 1-1 to Green, and it's fouled back out of play. Just for going on the field, 100 gallons of milk, 1,600 glasses donated. For every Diamondback hit, we have 3 of those. That means 300 more gallons. Every Diamondback run, 200 gallons per run. So tack on 400. And a Diamondback win, 300 gallons. We'll keep the running total for you tonight. Nearly 840,000 Arizonans live in poverty, and nearly 1 in 5 is under the age of 10. 1-2 to Green. Down the right field line in the court, and Greeny's heating up. Rounding third and scoring is Gonzales. And Green with an RBI double.
Well, Radke got ahead, 1-2, and then he went with that good changeup, and it looked like Sean Green was just laying all over it, looking for it, got it, stayed right on it, drilled it down the right field line. He's a lot like Gonzo, Tom, in the sense that he is a very good low ball hitter. And that is right in his wheelhouse as well. And Sean Green starting to heat up a little bit.
Gonzo a couple of runs batted in on a double. He scores on a Green double. And the Diamondbacks back at home and jumping all over Brad Radke. Here's Cruz. Change up, strike one. Cruz saw a pile of those on the last road trip.
Well, I think he saw 2 fastballs on the road trip, and he hit both of those fastballs for home runs. Just about every other pitch he saw was an off-speed pitch.
2 in a row.
Well, the word gets out in the big leagues. If they know you're a terrific fastball hitter, they're not going to throw you fastballs very often. They'll throw them to you, but usually out of the zone to change your eye level and then try to get you out with the off-speed stuff.
0-2 to Jose Cruz Jr. Threw a fastball up and he fouled it back. Well, yesterday the Diamondbacks scored 5 times in the opening frame and tack on 3 so far today.
Well, it just sets a tone when you come out and just bang the ball around in the first inning. Really makes your starting pitcher go out there with a lot of confidence. I'm sure Brandon Webb yesterday and now Sean Estes today got to be feeling terrific.
Fastball away, 1-2 to Jose Cruz Jr. Cruz in 96 at bats has 7 home runs and 18 batted in.
I can't get enough of that Chad Tracy. Do. That might be a don't.
Oh, that's a don't. Popped up and a foul ground. And Kadire over to get it, 2 away in the inning. You did that for a short while, as I recall, didn't you?
I did it for almost 2 years. And I looked
Not
a lot like
look.
Chad Tracy there. That's all right. As long as Chad's wife likes it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters is right. And as long as he keeps getting base hits, there are going to be a whole lot of people that like it.
You're doggone right there is.
Now Royce Clayton, 7th man to bat in the 3-run Diamondback opening inning, and Clayton fouls it out of play.
Did you ever shave your head, Tom? Did you ever shave your head? Did you?
No.
As a kid, or? You think Royce would do it?
Not a chance.
Shave
no
the dreads?
Chance.
I'll bet you Royce's had a bald head
no
in
way.
his lifetime.
No way.
We'll have to ask Royce.
0-1 to Clayton. Fastball up and in.
I mean, Royce didn't always have the dreads.
No, you're right about that. Green the runner at second, 2 away. Radke delivers. And it's down the right field line. Twisting foul. Out of play, 1-2 to Clayton. The Philadelphia Phillies just keep on rolling. Boy, that team is hot. They beat Texas, another hot team, tonight 8-5. And Pittsburgh rallied to beat Baltimore. Orioles had a 3-run lead going into the latter stages of that game. Pirates win at 6-5. Keep you up to date on all the scores, interleague scores around baseball. That ball smoked into left center field. And it is up against the wall. Green is going to score. Clayton an RBI double. 4-0 Diamondbacks, and they are pounded. Brad Radke.
Royce Clayton takes a fastball down and in and just drills it into the left field gap this time. That'll easily score Sean Green in a big 2-out hit, and that's going to get Brad Radke a much unwanted visit from his pitching coach.
Way it should be. Chris Snyder now the batter. Clayton at second. And Snyder looks at strike one. The 8th man to bat in the Diamondbacks opening inning. They sent 10 men to the plate in the first inning yesterday. Well, what a great way to get this homestand started. Diamondbacks have really struggled at home after getting off to the great start here at Bank One Ballpark. Their last two homestands, they went 5-5 on that Big Ten gamer. And then they lost both series on the last homestand to the Dodgers and the Padres.
Those were two big series, too, the Dodgers and Padres. But the Diamondbacks got a big break by going 2-5 on that trip and only losing one game in the standings in the West.
Yeah, Milwaukee and the Cubs doing the Diamondbacks a big favor by beating up San Diego.
Sometimes you got to have a little assistance, and they certainly got it. The Cincinnati Reds lead the National League far and away with the most doubles, Tom. Let's not kid ourselves. That's not a very good baseball team.
No, it is not. Swing and a miss by Snyder, and that'll end the inning. But a big first inning for the D-backs. 4 runs, 5 hits. Tracy said before this one started, it's not a good day to be Brad Radke. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on FSN Arizona, presented by Nissan and your Valley Nissan dealers, and by Jeep. See your Arizona Jeep dealer. Good start for the Diamondbacks. Back on the home front tonight for the first of 6 interleague games, 3 against Minnesota, followed by 3 against Kansas City, and an early 4-0 lead. We open the second inning. Torrey Hunter against Sean Estes. In there, a strike. Hunter at .267, 7 home runs, 34 batted in. He's been to an all-star game 2 years ago. Just an excellent everyday player. He's not a superstar. You brought it up earlier, Grace. He's just a really good player.
And he's a highlight film on the late night sports highlight shows. You see him about every day making some kind of a circus catch in center field. Most of his catches are in left and right. He covers so much ground.
Boy, what a sharp kid, too. I mean, he's one of the best interviews of anybody in the game today. Speaks his mind openly, honestly, and he'll tell it like it is. Ground ball is short. Clayton throws out Hunter. Now Jock Jones, 291 batter, 6 home runs, 26 runs batted in. In there, a strike. On those clubs, or the club that played in the American League Championship Series a couple of years ago, Jock Jones was forced to bat in the leadoff spot, and that was really never his cup of tea. He did the best he could. But he'll drive in runs if you put him out there.
You're doggone right he was. This guy's got a lot of power. And something you don't see very often, Tom, he's got huge power to left field for a left-handed hitter. Some of the long, I mean, he hits balls as far as power hitting right-handers to left field.
That's why they're pitching him in. Up and in, 3 balls and a strike. He comes in red hot, 10 hits in his last 25 at bats. Pretty much straight up defensively.
Yeah, Gonzo very deep in left, though.
Now San Diego opens interleague play tonight at home against Cleveland. That game just underway moments ago. Detroit will be in Los Angeles. Kansas City in San Francisco. 2 hopper at Council. 2 away.
Well, Sean Estes doing exactly what the Diamondback management and coaches wanted. After a big 4-run inning, come out and get 2 real quick outs. Get those offensive players right back in the dugout to take their whacks again.
Matthew LeCroy looks at a strike on the outside corner. LeCroy playing first base. Justin Morneau, the regular down that way, but he's out right now with an injury. They were Wondering if Mauer would get back in the lineup tonight. He is. But the Twins are pretty nicked up between Mauer, Morneau. Told you about Punto is out. So they're playing very well for a team that has had more than its fair share of injuries. Breaking ball just low. Foul tipped in and then out of the mid of Snyder. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Milwaukee in the top of the 8th inning, shutting out the New York Yankees 2-0. Randy Johnson beaten last night by the Brewers on a Junior Spivey home run.
Wow. I'll bet you that went over real well in the Big Apple.
Base hit through the hole in the left field on a 2-strike breaking ball that Lee Croy jumped all over. You know, there are a lot of rumors now beginning to float around New York, just getting back to that here in a moment. But whispers that Joe Torre could be in big trouble. That would be hard to believe, wouldn't it?
Well, I can promise you this, Tom, and you've been around this game a long time. You know as well. It ain't Joe Torre's fault that they keep bringing in these high-priced, well, I'm not going to say Randy Johnson is, but stiffs that they keep bringing into New York for multi-million-dollar contracts. You can't blame Torre for that.
4-0 D-backs. Miller Lite reminds all Diamondback fans that our interleague ticket promotion continues on. Our operators, ticket representatives, standing by until 9 o'clock tonight. And for those of you that purchase games on this homestand in interleague play or the next one against Detroit, that was popped up by Sean Estes. Out of play. We will waive the telephone ordering fee of $2.50, and you'll receive a voucher for $2 off a future Diamondback home game. Again, our ticket representative standing by until 9 o'clock tonight. 602-514-8400. Toll free out of town at 888-777-4664. They're working OT, so be nice. Swing and a miss by Estes. 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count on Estes, leading off the Diamondbacks' second inning. Just above our booth, out of play. Were you ready for that one, Gracie?
I was in ready position. Just missed it. Had a little flashback.
Well, you won those Gold Gloves, so we are well protected up here. Ken Phelps standing up as though he was going to make a play on that ball some 50 yards to his right.
When you were a kid and when you went to baseball games, were you ever lucky enough to catch a foul ball?
No, I got hit by one.
Was it a rocket?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was going to say that would explain a few things.
Yeah. Did you catch one at a big league game?
I was sitting right next to my brother one time at a Dodger game, and you remember an old utility player named Darryl Thomas?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Darryl Thomas hit a foul ball. My brother caught it, and it was one of the highlights of his youth.
That's cool. Well, that was a strange cat, Darryl Thomas.
Never met him, but he made my brother happy for a long time.
He had a lot of off-the-field problems. Was accused frequently of being a dirty player, you know, spikes high and that kind of, but he played hard, could play a lot of positions. Boy, Estes really making Radke work in this at bat.
Well, even though Estes does not have a hit this year, he is a pretty good hitter. He's got an idea up there.
This will be the 8th pitch in this at bat. So it took him 8 pitches to get out Estes. I'd like to remind you tonight after the game on your Arizona Sports Report, here from Diamondbacks first round draft pick Justin Upton. Plus The Sun Devils forward Ike Diagu makes it official. Is he turning pro or is he coming back, Tracy? Those stories and more.
I think he's going pro. What do you think? I think he's certainly good enough to go pro.
I think he's coming back.
Do you really?
And I'm just guessing.
We will find out later. I'll be watching.
Oh, no doubt. Well, you're going to be on the Arizona Sports Report. I mean, you're on there after every game. Right? Counsell fouls it out of play. Greg swung at the first pitch, leading off the first inning, and singled into right center field and scored the first of 4 Diamondbacks runs against Brad Radke. On the ground to the shortstop Castro. 2 away. Well, in spring training, Mark Gray spent a lot of time with Chad Tracy, learning the finer points of playing first base and perhaps talking once you get to the big leagues. Start establishing yourself as a big leaguer. But if you're going through a little bit of a slump, don't be afraid to change it up. Chad Tracy shaving his head, and Mark Grace.
Now that is one extremely handsome man right there. Model.
Let's see that again.
Now you know why I did that, and this is the honest truth. My wife Tanya was about 7 months pregnant at the time with our first son Jackson, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try to look like our son when he comes out. That's why I did it.
Was he born with a goatee?
He was a lot better looking than that, I can promise you that.
Todd Walsh back here at Bank One Ballpark. 4-0 Diamondbacks over the Twins here in the top of the third. And it's time for our quote of the game, brought to you by Geico. Don't forget, a 15-minute call could save you 15% on your car insurance. This comes from Bob Gebhardt, the Diamondbacks vice president, has told to the Arizona Republic, who said, quote, if an artist were to draw a picture of what a baseball player is supposed to look like, he would draw this kid. Unquote. Tom Brenneman, he wasn't talking about the bald Mark Grace that we just saw a couple of moments ago, or even Chad Tracy. You know who he was talking about. The Diamondbacks' #1 pick in the draft, Justin Upton. Pretty powerful quote from a guy who's been around baseball a long time.
Look at Counsell. Are you kidding me? What a play by Craig Counsell, having an all-star year.
And that is an all-world play. I mean, that's an in-between hop, full extension dive, up, perfect throw to Chad Tracy. This kid just comes to play and comes to win every single day.
Loss handles a one-hopper off the bat of Radke, and just like that, 2 away. You know, getting back to Justin Upton for a moment. Tracy, I'm sure you read that article, a wonderful story in the USA Today, the cover of the sports section, about the middle part of last week.
I did read it. About
Justin and his brother B.J. Upton, who was the #2 overall pick in the country 2 years ago by Tampa Bay. He's playing for their AAA club in Durham, North Carolina this year. But what a terrific family. The mother and father, both great athletes. Father played football at Norfolk State, which is a tremendous college down there in the Norfolk area, Norfolk, Virginia. The mother was a great softball player, and they let their kids play all the sports coming up and let them decide which one they wanted to concentrate on, and both sons decided on baseball.
And I think both sons are going to end up making the right decision, because BJ, the older, he's knocking on the door with the Tampa Bay organization. Of course, you're hearing all these accolades about Justin.
And Sean Estes doesn't even work up a lather in the third. Knocks him down 1, 2, 3. G-force coming up. Time to get on board with America West Airlines Flight Fund. For every Diamondback batter who gets on base during the inning, Catherine Abrazuzzi of Goodyear will win 1,000 miles. If the Diamondbacks load the bases, the miles are doubled to a maximum of 15,000. And Catherine, I did my best.
I'll tell you what, Tom, you do a good job with some of the difficult last names.
Well, I tell you, we have had some tongue twisters.
I mean, you haven't had many Smiths.
No. Gonzales hooks it on the ground to the right side, and Abernathy throws him out to begin the bottom of the third. The Diamondbacks with a 4-0 lead. They got all 4 runs in the opening inning on 5 hits against Radke. We told you that opponents were hitting nearly .370 against Radke, and that his earned run average was over 10 in the first inning. But after that, the opponent's batting average dips to right around .250, and his ERA is right around 2.5. So if you don't get him in the first, chances are you're in a world of hurt.
And that kind of a stat really makes you scratch your head, because Brad Radke is a bona fide terrific pitcher, has been for years, and he's still young. You would think a veteran pitcher like him would have some kind of way to get it figured out as far as his first inning struggles.
Boy, it seems like you and I were talking about this before the game, that Radke's been around forever. I mean, I thought it had to be a misprint when I saw that he was only 32 years old.
He's been around a long time, too. And been good for a long time.
Good for a long time. That's right. Popped up a mile high, right side of the infield. Abernathy calling off LeCroy, 2 away. Loss 0 for 2. Radke, an 8th round pick, so it just goes to show you don't have to be a 1st or 2nd rounder or 3rd rounder, you know, to get your chance at the big leagues. 8th round in 1991, and he was with a big club to stay in 95.
Going on year number 10.
Sean Green hit bullets all over the field the last 2 games. He had an RBI double his first time up, and now stings one to right center field.
Well, Sean Green heating up. There's that another low pitch, knee high, that Sean loves. Extends those big arms and drills it into right center field.
Cruz dumps one into left center field. Green going to advance on to second. So the Diamondbacks with 2 on after the first 2 were retired by Radke for Royce Clayton.
Well, Jose Cruz picked out a fastball out over, and he's a terrific fastball hitter. He didn't miss it, flips it out into left center field, and now that gives Royce Clayton another chance to drive in some runs.
Now Clayton, who had the RBI double to left center field in the first inning, and boy, did he tag that pitch from Radke. Fastball up and in. Clayton has excellent numbers against Radke. 9 hits and 29 at bats. That's a .310 average with 4 runs batted in. Sean Green is now 15 for 41 against Radke. Of course, a lot of those numbers for Green were put up during his days over in the American League, and that was some time ago.
Quite a while ago with Toronto.
Although I got to believe he got a number of at-bats against Minnesota the last couple of years, because it seems like the National League West has been playing the American League Central for about 100 years now in interleague play.
You're right. I know just about every year the Tigers and the Twins, Kansas
Royals,
City,
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to believe they're going to mix it up next year. I haven't heard about what the rotation will be, but it's been quite some time since.
Yeah, it was 02.
02 was the last year when the Diamondbacks played the American League East.
And I was not a Diamondback yet when the Diamondbacks played the West.
Yeah, that was the first couple of years of interleague play.
So it's been since '01 that the Diamondbacks have traveled the West.
That'd be nice to get back against the West next year.
I agree.
Boy, you got to wonder what that relationship is all about. Or how it's going. Breaking ball in there, strike to Clayton. So Bradkey throwing the 3-1 breaking ball. Runners will get started on this 3-2 pitch to Royce Clayton.
You're a relationship specialist now, are you?
I don't think there's any doubt about it. There's Dr. Phil and me.
Don't forget Dr. Ruth.
Going way back.
Way back. What is it Dr. Phil says? What are you thinking?
Three and two to Clayton. Runners go. Struck him out 2 in the inning. 2 hits, 2 left. And a 3, 4-0 D-backs. All righty, we're back at home. Our buddy's doing well. Our Aflac trivia question. Who was the first player taken in the first amateur baseball draft? I think I know that one.
I think I know it.
Well, yeah, Kurt just told you.
No, I mouthed it to
on.
him. I mouthed it to him, and he said, yes, you're right.
And if I'm not mistaken, he has local ties.
Yes.
Many of you out there know the answer to this. Old enough to remember. You got to go back quite a ways. Brent Abernathy to lead things off. He has one of the 2 Minnesota hits in the game against Sean Estes when he singled into left field in the opening inning. To be followed by Marr and Hunter. Roller to the right side. Estes wins the race to the bag. Nicely done by Chad Tracy and Sean Estes.
Well, the Diamondback defense really was swung way around. Counsell was almost behind second base with Abernathy. Tracy had to range a long way over into the hole. And Estes just beats a diving Abernathy. Don't hurt yourself there, kid. It's a dangerous way to go into first. Not only can you jam an elbow, but you can take a spike right in the hand. And believe me, kids, it's not any faster. Or Carl Lewis would have been diving across the line. And there'd have been an umpire right there.
Joe Mauer now digging in, left-handed batting catcher, and a big overhand breaking ball drops in there, a strike. You know, we were talking about Mauer and that he was a #1 pick in the country 4 years ago as he bounces out to Clayton. You know, when you're picking a guy #1, I mean, you're thinking about Alex Rodriguez.
Sure.
You're thinking about Chipper Jones. You're thinking about Ken Griffey Jr. Now, Mauer's a very young guy. We'll see how it all plays out. I mean, he just turned 22 years old, so he's a youngin'. But the minor league numbers, there have to be some concerns there. I mean, he's never hit more than 4 home runs.
Well, he's already got 5 this year.
Got 5 this year. His RBI total was 85. That was his second full year. Then last year he had all kinds of injuries, so you really kind of take that one out. Very good batting average, though. I mean, he's hit .335, .302, and obviously he can play behind the plate.
Terrific defensive
Yep.
catcher. And local ties to the Twins organization. He's a
Absolutely.
local kid up
Yep.
from Minneapolis.
That's right.
That always helps.
Sure does.
puts fannies in the seats up there at the Metrodome. Look at this hat right here. Oops.
A ball well struck, deep right center field off the bat of Torrey Hunter, and gone. So the Twins on the board. Torrey Hunter, his 8th home run of the year, makes it a 4-1 ball game.
Well, he picked out a 1-2 breaking ball from Sean Estes. It stayed up in the zone, and boy, Torrey Hunter hit that ball a long ways to center field. Well, here's the high breaking ball. Boom. Way up there in the picnic tables.
Fastball strike called to Jock Jones. It's 8 home runs, 35 batted in on the year for Torrey Hunter. Fastball high, 1-1 to Jones. Milwaukee beats the New York Yankees 2-1.
Unbelievable.
Slapped into left field, a base hit.
Well, Tom, we saw Sean Estes his last outing in New York. Gave up a home. He was absolutely dealing for 3 innings. He gave up a home run to Carlos Beltran to lead off, I believe, the 4th inning.
Yep.
And then, well, he just lost his concentration. He lost his focus. Mets went on to score 4 in that inning, and he couldn't right the ship. Let's see if he can get it righted here, because Torrey Hunter just hit a long home run off of him. Made a mistake there to Jock Jones, a base hit. And now he's got a tough customer in Matt Lecroy. This guy can hit. He is their left-handed specialist, I guess you could say. They put him in against left-handed pitchers.
Strike 1 to Lecroy, who singled sharply into left field his first time up. Fastball away. St. Louis Cardinals trying to exercise the demons of last year's Fall Classic. They steamrolled Boston last night, and they're beating them up even worse tonight. 9-2 Redbirds. Reggie Sanders hitting his 12th home run of the year.
I think Boston will trade it off, don't you?
I think there would be little debate about that.
We'll let you win the interleague stuff. We'll take the World Series.
Yeah.
When they absolutely steamrolled the St. Louis Cardinals last year.
One and two now on Lecroy. Runner at first, 1 run in. Fastball backs him off the plate, 2-2. Dodgers an early 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning over Detroit. They're scoreless in the 3rd. Cleveland in San Diego. What's nice on the team playing the Governor. Greg Schulte has that XM radio.
Oh, man.
Which works, you know, when you're up in the plane. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And during the entire 4.5 plane ride, hours later last night, we were up to speed on every game in baseball.
He was listening to every game. Greg is such a baseball fan. There's the Gub with Leo Gilmartin behind him. And there's Dig.
That one down the right field line. Green on the run. And got it. Good play by Sean Green, and that'll end the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. D-backs lead 4-1. All righty, time to answer our Aflac trivia question. Who was the first player ever picked in the amateur draft? You know him. Rick Monday, out of Arizona State University, by the Kansas City Athletics, the first year of the draft, 1965.
Well, after the Diamondbacks give up a solo shot, it wouldn't be bad to get a little something of their own. Radke has really done a great job of settling in like we thought he would. But right now, that 4-run first is standing tall.
0-2 the count on Chris Snyder, leading off the Diamondbacks' 4th inning. He'll be followed by Estes and then Craig Counsell. Told you Radke, the best control pitcher in all of baseball, only 3 walks the entire year. And that includes 3 more innings here tonight. 1-2 the count. He's 3rd all-time in Minnesota franchise history with 132 wins. 3rd all-time in strikeouts with better than 1,300 of those. On the ground to the shortstop, Castro. 1 away.
Well, since that first inning, Tom, I mean, not even anything at all. Sean Green a base hit, and then Jose Cruz another base hit, and that has been it since that first inning. So Radke has certainly settled in, spotting his pitches much better than he did in the first inning, and mixing in his changeup now. He's got the feel for that changeup now.
Well, Minnesota Twin fans will certainly want to watch the best sports show period later tonight. We'll tell you about that here in a minute as Sean Estes looks at a strike. Sean had an 8-pitch at bat his first time up before finally popping one up to Brent Abernathy. One hopper down to Leafroy, a wave off Radke. 2 away in the inning. Well, the best sports show period coming your way later tonight with host Chris Rose, co-host John Sally, Rob Dibble, and Rodney Peete. We'll talk to Bobcats forward Emeka Okafor to preview the NBA Finals. And legendary pitcher Jack Morris tells us what he thinks about the game today. That's tonight at 10:30 on FSN Arizona.
Well, were you surprised at the Eastern Finals in the NBA?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
No.
I was. There's Bert Blyleven.
The biggest concern for, in this case, Ron Gartner.
Please, writers, put him in the Hall of Fame.
Afterwards, as they run to first.
Go figure. I mean, he's one of about 3 or 4 guys that they are so deserving of the Hall of Fame, and it just absolutely boggles the mind how he is not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's ridiculous. When you look at where this guy ranks in every category in the history of the game, it just makes absolutely no sense. None. Popped up in the foul ground, and another 1-2-3 inning for Brad Radke. We go to the 5th. Diamondbacks lead 4-1. Like to remind you once again, for those of you who purchased tickets to any of the interleague games on this homestand against Minnesota, Kansas City, or later against Detroit, our ticket representative standing by until 9 o'clock will waive your ordering fee on the telephone of $2.50, and you'll receive a voucher for $2 off a future home game this season. And again, our operator standing by, and the numbers 602-514-8400. If you're out of town, toll free 888-777-4664. And for those of you that are going to wait until after 9 o'clock tonight, you can buy on Diamondbacks.com and still got that $2 off promotion. So we'll look forward to seeing you down here the next couple of nights or over the weekend, or when the Detroit Tigers come to town.
Our bitter geographic rival. Throw out all the books when the Tigers and the D-backs hook up.
4-pitch walk to Michael Kadire by Sean Estes to begin the 5th inning.
What do you think of that hat there, Tom? That's a good looking hat. I don't know about the shirt, though.
Well, you talk about perhaps a bit confused. There's good news and bad news. You will go home a winner.
That's right.
And you'll have one on the losing end as well.
Something inside you will feel very good tonight when your head hits that pillow.
First walk issued by either pitcher in the game tonight. Juan Castro, the batter. Throw over to first.
Well, the Twins are not your typical American League team, Tom. They like to hit and run. They like to steal bases. They like to bunt, move runners around. They're not a team that sits back and waits for 3-run homers. They're not the typical slow pitch softball American style team. So Estes knows that. He's going to throw over a few times, keep Kadire honest.
Kadire 2 out of 5 in stolen base attempts, and a base hit into right field by Castro. Saturday, June 18th, the phenomenon continues as the future of poker comes to FSN in an all-new weekly tournament with $250,000 up for grabs. It's the premiere of UltimateBet.net World Poker Challenge.
Well, Tom, you got Brad Radke hitting in a National League stadium. Let's see what kind of bunter he is, because that's what he's going to be called on to do right here.
Well, I tell you what, these Minnesota pitchers through interleague play have been the best hitting group. And that one rolled perfectly. Good enough to nearly be a hit. You can't roll it out there any better than that.
And you just see how fundamentally sound this team is. This guy hadn't been asked to bunt probably since last year at this time. I mean, this is a blueprint. Perfect. That's not going to go foul. Sean Estes made a heck of a play just to get an out there. You can kind of feel the Twins getting a little momentum now.
Well, they're like the Diamondbacks in so many ways that they generally don't score a ton of runs. Their pitching has been better than the Diamondbacks. In fact, it's been better than everybody. But what I mean by similar to the Diamondbacks is they play good defense and they play a lot of close games.
They do. You're absolutely correct.
Breaking ball in there, a strike to Shannon Stewart. They played 20 one-run games. The Diamondbacks have played 22 one-run games. Oh, and 1 to Shannon Stewart. Fouled back out of play, and Estes jumps ahead, 0-2.
Oh, Estes has thrown back-to-back beautiful pitches to get ahead 0-2. A first pitch breaking ball that got taken for a strike, and then a fastball right on the outside corner at the knees. All Stewart can do is just flail and shank it foul.
Stewart, a .333 batter with runners in scoring position on the year. Jammed him with a fastball. Still 0-2.
You know, that is below average. 8 out of 15 with the runner scoring with a guy on third and less than 2 outs. But Shannon Stewart sits in an 0-2 hole. Sean Estes got the hammer on him.
Fastball up and in. The Twins are the #1 hitting team in baseball with runners in scoring position. They're batting .300.
Man.
One and 2 to Stewart. That one got away from Estes.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sean Estes try the big overhand curveball right here. He threw it first pitch. A beauty for strike 1. He's gone to the fastball since. I think he's got Stewart set up for it again. Maybe a changeup. Let's see what Chris Snyder wants.
What he throwing?
He got the breaking ball, and Stewart did a heck of a job just to nick that ball foul. That was a terrific curveball from Estes.
Two and 2 on Shannon Stewart. Kadire at third, Castro at second, and another breaking ball, and again he barely fouled it off.
But by just nicking, I mean, he's very fooled on these pitches. A lot of hitters will swing right through that and walk back to the dugout for a big strikeout. But Shannon Stewart just getting a piece of it. He's making Sean Estes work. And the longer you stay in the box as a hitter, the more chance you've got of the pitcher making a mistake. So Estes got to keep his focus.
Fouled back out of play again.
Another terrific fastball. Down right where Sean Estes wanted it. Stewart spoiled it.
Well, very good at bat here by Shannon Stewart. Fell behind quickly 0-2. Got it to 2-2. Is fouled away now 3 in a row. And again, a break even pitch. Came back with a fastball. And again, Stewart hanging around. This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat upcoming.
Well, the only pitch Sean Estes has not shown Stewart in this at bat is his changeup. Stewart's seen a bunch of breaking balls and a bunch of fastballs. I'm wondering if Estes is thinking, I might just have to try to pull the string here. I've got him sped up with the fastballs. Maybe a changeup might be the pitch.
That was a pitch. Fly ball into short right field. Green setting himself for the throw. Here comes a runner. Throw to the plate and safe. What a throw by Green. And Snyder trying to catch it and sweep tag at the same time, a fraction late. 4-2 ball game.
Well, he got the changeup and he got the routine fly ball. And Sean Green does everything. Look how he gets behind it, sets himself, and whoom. I mean, that is a perfect throw. It looks like it just short hops Snyder a little bit, and Snyder was out in front of the plate, and he allowed Kadire to slide right by him. Watch the left foot. Watch it move. That's what allowed Kadire to slide in safely.
Big overhand breaking ball to Brent Abernathy. Well, okay. Runner at third, 1 run in. You still have a 2-run lead. You don't want Abernathy now to make it a 1-run ball game. Estes out of the regular windup. Full foul and Sean ahead 0-2.
That one almost got a piece of Al Newman, the third base coach of the Twins. And did you know Al Newman, Aztec, out of San Diego State. A lot of brilliant ball players went there.
One-two pitch. Low and away. Estes trying to put away Abernathy and not face Mauer here in the 5th inning. Just off the outside corner.
Well, Sean Estes jumped ahead 0-2, and then he's been trying to strike him out rather than get him out. He's nibbled a little bit, trying to get the strike out, and instead now he sits with a 3-2 count, and Abernathy back in a good hitter's count here. These guys are just pesky hitters. That was a good change up there on 3-2 from Estes. Abernathy spoiled it just like Shannon Stewart did prior. What a terrific at bat Stewart had on Estes.
Runner at third is Castro. Abernathy wanting time, getting something in his eye, and now stepping right back in the box. Estes works out of the regular windup in a 3-2 pitch. Boy, he walked it. Joe Mauer has 5 home runs, 18 batted in, 301 batting average.
I guess you would call that man a big Joe Mauer fan.
With a big league mohawk. And those are outstanding numbers for Maurer. Young player. Boy, those are really good numbers. He was hurt almost all of last year. So this is really only his 4th year of professional baseball. Tapper to short. Boy, that helps. Inning over. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 left, 4-2 D-backs. Diamondbacks lead at 4-2. Our Sonic game summary. Diamondbacks striking for 5 in the first inning yesterday, 4 today. Counsell a base hit. Tracy, Gonzo knocking in a run. A couple of them, in fact. Green an RBI double. And Royce Clayton a run scoring double. But Brad Radke has shut him down on just 2 hits since. And Minnesota has gotten right back in it, now trailing by 2 as the D-backs bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chad Tracy back in the lineup tonight at first base, singled into right field and scored in the first. Bounced out to Abernathy at second in the second. One away.
That one got deep in the kitchen to Chad Tracy. Radke is just really settled in. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to pitch in, away, change speeds. And that one just buzzsawed Chad Tracy.
Every time a Diamondback player hits a home run tonight, Fulton Homes will donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue. Gonzo played long ball a couple of times over the weekend. Takes up an in ball 1. Had a 2-run double to right center field in the opening inning tonight. Scored on the double by Sean Green. And then he bounced to second his last time up. Two and 0. San Diego and Cleveland scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. Pardon me, Gracie.
No, that's okay. I was going to say one of the very few 2-0 counts that Brad Radke's had. Let's see if he goes with the fastball and challenges Gonzales here.
Check swing and no on the appeal.
Gonzo got the green light. 3-0, Tom.
Oh, he's got it, but I don't think he's swinging.
Duke. Voting for Gonzo.
He is swinging, and a drive in the right center field, and it is gone.
Vote for Gonzo. Attaboy, Duke. Gonzo brings the crowd to their feet with a long home run to right center on a 3-0 pitch. That's what you have to do with a guy like Radke. He's not going to walk you. You might as well just turn him loose. 3-0. Trusting a guy like Gonzo to pick out a pitch he likes. That's the pitch he loves, the one down. And drives it way out of here to center. And Duke Thorne, the happiest man in the stadium as we speak.
Well, Gonzo not the only one they put out those T-shirts on for the All-Star game. They have vote for Troy Gloss. Vote for Craig counts. So they're all over the ballpark.
Well, Troy Gloss looking for some votes with a at-bat here off of Radke. That's a big run, Tom. Minnesota had a lot of momentum. Sean Estes had to do some big league pitching last inning just to thwart what could have been a big inning by the Twins, just giving up 1 run. But getting that run back takes away a lot of the Twins' momentum.
So Gonzo was 3-0 hacking. Shows you what I know, Gracie. You thought he would be 3-0 hacking there, didn't you? Because Radke's going to throw a strike.
Honestly, I didn't think he would.
Really?
I could take the easy way out and say, well, of course he should have been hacking there. But I'm gonna. But honestly, I was thinking with the bases empty, he might not be swinging there.
Well, you're an honest man, Gracie.
Abe.
Two and 2 to Troy Gloss, who is struck out and popped up to second base.
Well, just about all of Troy Gloss's damage this year has been done in this ballpark at home. He's hitting .326 here at home. 9 of his home runs are here. Shows you what he does on the road.
And a little roller down to third. Ross now hitless in his last 12 at bats. 2 away in the inning. So 2 away in the inning, and now it'll be Shawn Green. Green really swinging the bat well here the last couple of days. Check swing, and they say he went around. Of course, Shawn did not start the game against Randy Wolf on Sunday. Was put back in the lineup yesterday. Had the triple, the double, the sac fly, knocked in 4 runs, scored twice. 2 for 2 tonight. Hooks this one to the right side, which will end the inning. But the Diamondbacks get another run. A solo home run by Gonzales, his 9th of the year. And now 38 batted in for Gonzo.
Arizona Diamondback baseball on FSN Arizona is presented by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in MLB. Is it in you? And by Corona. Kick back, take it easy, relax. Open a Corona. Miles away from the ordinary. Enjoy a Corona today.
Grande Analista. Look at the Twins there. Watching the Twins.
Exactly. Wonder if they ever have those kind of nights in Minnesota. Sets of twins, maybe one gets in free, something like that.
Oh, I would think they have to. If they don't, they need to have it.
I agree. That's great.
That ball stung by Torrey Hunter. And a laser off the wall. Hunter, who homered his last time up to right center, doubles to left center in the 6th.
Well, you called that right. That was a laser. Let's take a look at this laser, Tom. This is a changeup that he just stays right belt high. And really, Estes is very lucky that ball didn't get out of the ballpark. I don't think it ever got above the wall when it hit the 413 sign. But it's only a double. And Estes gets to face the left-handed hitting Jock Jones.
Jones has bounced out to second and singled into left field. Big swing on a first pitch fastball from Estes, fouled back to the screen.
And that's where you have to try to pitch Jock Jones. You got to stay up a little bit and in a little bit on him. He likes to get extended, likes to hit the ball to left field. Now, something off speed, he can turn on and pull to right field, but his money is out there in left and left center. And right now he's looking to pull the ball. He wants to get Torrey Hunter to third with less than 2 outs.
And he will accomplish that mission. 2-hopper to Tracy. Estes takes the flip. On to third goes Hunter. Now the first 3 innings, Estes threw 37 pitches, allowed 2 hits and no runs. Over the last 2 innings, 42 pitches, 3 hits and 2 runs. It's the 3rd time now through this Minnesota batting order for Shawn Estes.
And the stress level starting to rise a little bit. The Twins are starting to get a little more comfortable with Shawn Estes the 3rd time around. And another tough customer here in Matt Lee Croy.
Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Taking up and in 2, Lee Croy. Activity for the first time in the Minnesota bullpen. Matt Guerrier beginning to throw. Claimed off waivers from the Pirates a couple of seasons ago. And a 2-1 on Lee Croy. Low and away, 3 balls and a strike. Kadire waits on deck.
Diamondback infield is going to concede the run with a 3-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Any ground ball to any of the 4 infielders will certainly plate Torrey Hunter, who's got great speed on third.
In the air, center field. Cruz back to the warning track. Boy, that ball carried a long way. Coming in to score from third is Hunter, so they get him on, get him over, get him in to get that lead once again down to 2.
Well, we talk about fundamentals, and Minnesota Twins, one of the best fundamental teams. They don't score them 3 and 4 runs at a time. They just nick at you, they bite at you, and they peck away. It's back to back to back 1-run innings, and they're right back in the ballgame.
And they have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. So generally, if they can nick at you, pick at you, and get close, you're going to have a hard time beating their bullpen. Brad Radke still in the ballgame. Fouled out a play by Michael Kadire. I mean, most of these guys have come up from this Minnesota Twins farm system. Look back just over the last number of years. Brad Radke, 91. Jock Jones in 96. Torrey Hunter back in 93. Kadire, 97. So was LaCroix that year in their draft. Mauer in 2001. I mean, they do an excellent job of signing, developing, and bringing their own players because they don't have a very high payroll. I mean, this is a club every year that is not even in the middle of the pack. I mean, they're near, you know, the lower third.
Oh, yeah.
In team payroll. Their general manager, Terry Ryan, has just done a superb job.
As have all their minor league people, all their scouts, you name it. When you're in a situation like the Twins and you're going to have a low payroll, you're going to have to really do a heck of a job developing your minor league talent, your own talent. And they have certainly done that.
3-2 on Kadire. And there's ball 4. Well, that's a third walk by Estes. And he's just brought the tying run to the plate.
Well, he's got the possibility of pitching around Castro, but I would imagine Radke's going to get pulled for a pinch hitter if his spot comes up. Mark Davis going to get on the horn to the bullpen.
Estes up over the 90 pitch mark now. And again, we'll keep an eye on Kadire. I mean, you can mark it down. Juan Castro is looking to do one thing and one thing only. Ron Gardenhire and Jerry White were saying before the game today, there is no better hitter in baseball hitting and running than this guy. There you have it. I mean, that's all he's up there to do. And he can do it as well as anybody in the game. This kid has deserved a chance to be an everyday player for a long time and has never gotten it in Los Angeles, in Cincinnati. But now he's in Minnesota and he's playing every day. The kid can play.
It's going to bring up the pinch hitter. They're going to pull Radke down for Glenn Williams. I believe that's Mike Koplov out in the bullpen. He's not ready to pitch yet. He just got started. So Sean Estes, I would imagine, is going to have to face Williams.
Glenn Williams just brought up yesterday from Rochester. Was hitting .303 with 5 home runs and 22 runs batted in 48 games. Signed by Minnesota as a free agent during the offseason. And there you see the numbers on Radke. And they brought Williams up because Morneau just is not ready to go. So for Glenn Williams, right now his major league debut stepping up there. We told you, just called up yesterday. And his first at bat will come against Sean Estes. They said this kid was hurt all of spring training, and they never got a chance really to see him play. But very good numbers in the minor leagues this season. Off the bare hand of Estes, rolls over to Counsell, and that'll be an infield hit in the first major league at bat for Glenn Williams.
Well, I'm sure he'll get the ball. Congratulations to Jeff Williams. Estes, just a knee-jerk reaction right off the pitching thumb. Oh boy, that's just what you don't need. Not only a base hit to load the bases, but he may be stinging to the point where he can't throw.
Well, you got to figure they were probably going to go the right-hander Kopilov anyway at this point. Obviously, you are hoping that Estes is all right. That is first and foremost, that it's nothing serious that could affect him, not just tonight.
Well, he's wiping his pants like it's bleeding.
They probably got him on the tip of the thumb.
Yeah, it looked like it got him right on the meat hand, the thumb. Wipe it on the grass, rub a little dirt on it, Sean. Atta boy. Rub a little dirt on it. Some grass. Let's just hope that thing doesn't have a fracture in it.
So Sean going to lead with the bases loaded and 2 out here in the 6th inning. If we hear anything about the condition of Estes, we'll let you know. We do know that Mike Kopilov is coming on with a bases loaded.
It's copy time.
Bases loaded for Minnesota. Sean Estes having to leave the game with an injury to his left pitching thumb after taking that sharp ground ball off the bat of Glenn Williams. So now on to try and get the final out and keep the Diamondbacks ahead by 2 is right-hander Mike Kopilov.
Well, one of the biggest outs probably this year that Mike Kopilov's had to come in and get. Bases loaded, protecting a 2-run lead. And one of the better leadoff hitters in the game in Shannon Stewart that he's got to face.
And Kopilov starts in with a fastball, strike 1. No grand slams in the career of Shannon Stewart, but the home runs are not his game. Guy puts a bat on the ball.
He's still got 8 home runs this year, so if you make a mistake, he can hurt you.
And he's hurt by Kopilov. Base hit into center field, which will bring in 2 and tie the game at 5. So just like that, Minnesota strikes for 3 in the 6th inning.
Well, after getting ahead with a fastball, he comes right back with a fastball right down the middle. I mean, that is right down the middle. And it gets slammed right back up the box, and we have a tie ball game.
Well, they had no chance to throw out the runner at the plate. I mean, it's a nice throw out there by Cruz, but no chance. Strike called to Abernathy. Charged those runs to Estes. Boy, the 2-out walk was the real killer for Estes. I mean, obviously everybody's going to talk about him getting hit on the thumb, but a run was in with 2 outs and nobody on, and then he walked Kadire to start this mess again.
And a balk's just been called.
And now Kopilov is adding to the mess.
Well, Kopilov's got to keep his composure. Let's see what we can find here. Yep, he started and stopped. He just had a little twitch. And that's all it takes. Marty Foster, the second base umpire, got him.
And now a bunt. Kopilov gets to it quickly and throws him out. Good play by Kopilov to end the inning. But the Minnesota Twins tie the game with a 3-run 6th.
Todd Walsh back here at Banquet Ballpark. The Twins have tied it up. It's 5-5, bottom of the 6th. Tom and Mark have the call. We'll get to them in just a second. We're here in the general manager's booth. at press row here at Banquet Ballpark, joined by Joe Garagiola Jr. of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Joe, obviously the story of the day, the draft, and I know you don't want to have that first pick overall. This not what this organization is all about, but as everyone has said leading up to it, when you get it, you got to make the most of it, and it looks like you did with Justin Upton.
I think we did, Todd. I think, as you say, this is hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime experience that we've now had, but we took a terrific player today at 1. Very poised, very mature young man who can just do everything on a baseball field you want a player to be able to do.
Let's talk about off the field for a second. You and I chatted before the game started here tonight. Where does that maturity come from, do you think, in Justin?
I think it starts with his family, and having had the opportunity to be around his parents a couple of times now, it's not difficult to see where he gets it from. They're really solid, grounded people. His dad's an ACC basketball referee, and then he's been exposed to a lot of things, obviously with his older brother BJ, and kind of seeing how that experience has gone. But Justin is a player who literally since he's been 13 years old has been traveling around the country. He's been on various national teams, showcases, those kinds of things. So he's had a lot of experience, been in a lot of situations that I think has contributed to that maturity.
Where will he begin his Diamondback career? Have you guys decided that yet?
Probably Missoula. Yeah.
And the big picture, I believe it's 18 of 20 draft picks today from the collegiate level. That's obviously part of the plan.
And a lot of college pitching. You always want to try to take pitching. And after Justin, I think we took 13 pitchers today, and with the exception of Brett Jacobson, local product, they were all college pitchers.
And it's not over yet.
32 rounds tomorrow, so there'll be a lot of names tomorrow. But as we always say in every draft, you say the same thing. There's some big leaguers still on that board, and we just have to find them.
Enjoy yourself, Joe. Congratulations on a great day.
Thanks, Todd.
Joe Garagiola Jr. Tom, 1 out in the inning. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Todd. And we were talking so much about the Minnesota Twins have done such a good job producing players. The Diamondbacks have done a sensational job in a short amount of time producing major league players on their big league club. And the best is yet to come.
I agree. Connor Jackson, Carlos Quentin, Sergio Santos. Now Stephen Drew down there. It's not going to be long.
When you look at all the guys in the system that have already paid dividends up here, I mean, they battled injuries the last couple of years, but guys like Valverde and Villarreal. Oh, 2 pitch, and a breaking ball is down and away. And all the prospects the Diamondbacks have had that they've traded to other teams to bring in big-time players here. I mean, don't forget Vicente Padilla, a Diamondback.
Yeah.
Brad Penny, a Diamondback. Tapper left side. Throw, and not in time. Clayton beat it out.
Well, Michael Kadire looked like he had a little trouble getting that ball out of his glove, and that allowed the speed of Royce Clayton. Watch, he just takes that extra step, and that's all it takes for Royce Clayton to be safe. That'll go as an infield hit.
Well, Kadire's had his troubles down at third. You see the Minnesota outfield defense has been sensational. They've been so nicked up along the infield, with the exception really of Castro, that guys have had their ups and downs on defense along the infield. Now Chris Snyder the batter. But generally year in and year out they are among the best defensive teams, and will be when they get everybody back. Well, the Diamondbacks led this one 4-0. They led this one 5-2. And now we're tied at 5 here in the bottom of the 6th. And a Tapper foul on the third base line. Alex Intron has moved in the on-deck circle and apparently will hit for Mike Koplo.
And you talk about a hot Diamondback, Alex Intron, definitely in that category. Oh, what a series he had in Philadelphia. He hit the ball well in New York as well. He was one of the few guys that had good swings at Pedro Martinez.
Looks like Matt Herges. Down there in the bullpen, ready to come on in the 7th inning.
Well, this kid Gary A is very slow to the plate, and I'm sure Bob Melvin has seen that. I'm sure Royce Clayton has seen that. Wouldn't surprise me to see Clayton take off here sometime this at bat.
0-1 to Snyder. They're going to keep an eye on him. Activity down in the Minnesota bullpen. Veteran left-hander who's made his home in the Valley forever, Terry Mulholland, begins to throw. Runner started and stopped. And a pop fly to short right center field. 2 away in the inning. Well, Justin Upton, a shortstop, taken with the number 1 overall pick by the Diamondbacks today, and there are some pretty good names of shortstops that have been taken number 1.
Shea Wong.
Our old buddy Sean Dunston in '82, Chipper Jones in 1990, and yes, he was drafted as a shortstop. Alex Rodriguez in '93. Matt Bush last year by San Diego, and now Justin Upton. Tell you what, those top 3 guys, Dunston, Jones, and Rodriguez, you'd be doing just fine if Upton had the same kind of career as any of the 3.
That's right. Sean, a long distinguished career. Chipper Jones been a star since he arrived. Of course, we all know about A-Rod.
Well, rather than Cintrone, it's going to be Quentin McCracken to bat for Kopla, who faces 2 batters. Allowed a 2-run single to Shannon Stewart. And then inexplicably, Brent Abernathy, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, tried to bunt with 2 men out. Check swing. What a block there by Mauer. That's big league play.
It sure is. Quentin McCracken was thinking dead red. No way he's going to throw me a breaking ball. So he swings this 45-footer, and Mauer just slides over beautifully and blocks it.
And 1 to McCracken. And a fastball is taken outside. San Diego and Cleveland still scoreless. That game in the 6th inning. The Dodgers and the Tigers are tied at 2 in the 5th. And Kansas City beating up the Giants 7-1.
Well, San Francisco has headed south in a hurry.
They had an 8-game losing streak finally come to an end in game 1 of a doubleheader on Sunday. Then they lost the next game. That went down the left field line, and they hadn't played that way. Stewart makes the catch and will end the inning. So we go to the 7th in a 5-5 game. Waiting your low fare experience, visit AmericaWest.com and get on board. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% on car insurance. And by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Your friends at Jack Daniel's remind you to please drink responsibly. A 5-5 game as we open the 7th inning. And now on the mound, it's Matt Hergis. See, his overall numbers appeared in 21 games for the Giants. Made his Diamondback debut a couple of days ago in Philadelphia. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Very interesting to note, those that see the San Francisco Giants and have seen them on a daily basis the last couple of years will tell you that if the Diamondbacks use Hergis the way most relievers probably should be used, he has a legitimate chance to pitch much like he did the first half of last season, which was pretty much lights out. That one lined into right field. Grant's got it, 1 away. But because of the Giants' starting pitching over the last year and a half, averaging barely over 5 innings a game, this year it's even less than that. Felipe Alou has been running that bullpen out there with regularity pretty much every night. And this year it's been worse than ever because Jason Schmidt has been on the DL, and in 4 starts since coming off the DL has not even gotten through the 5th inning. That ball launched into left field. two-homer game for Torrey Hunter. And Minnesota has its first lead of the night.
Now, Torrey Hunter likes hitting here at Bank One Ballpark. I mean, he has just hit 2 bombs and another rocket off the wall. I mean, Burgess just tries to get ahead with this first pitch fastball. Torrey Hunter says, no way. Right down Broadway. Gone.
Now Jock Jones. Minnesota's come all the way back. Boy, look at that dugout. Down to the Twins, everybody standing up. But I mean, not standing up to high five the guy who just came in. But I mean, they're all down there, stand up all along the row.
It's amazing what a great job Ron Gardenhire, the manager, has done with these young players year in and year out. He gets them ready to play every single game hard for 27 outs. And that doesn't sound like it's asking much, but you're not going to find many teams that do that. Day in, night out.
Two-one delivery to Jock Jones, and it's taken high. Tom Kelly was loved as the manager all those years in Minnesota. They won the 2 World Series in 1987 and then in 1981. But then they went through a long dry spell of down years in Minnesota. This ball mashed into left center field. Cruz on the run and runs it down. Good play out there by Cruz. Starting to run much better.
That ball had a lot of hang time, gave Jose Cruz enough time to run underneath. That's a long ways out there, 413 feet to that corner. Cruz runs it down.
Justin Morneau has been injured, and they're waiting for him to get back there on an everyday basis. And he's coming up there now to pinch hit for Lee Croy. They're liking this kid to Paul Bunyan. That's what they were calling him when he was first coming up through the minor league.
Big man.
Absolutely. And he's even slimmed down from what he was. He's a strong kid.
He's been hurt a number of ways this year. He was the victim of a violent beating early this year. He got hit in the head by Ron Vallone of the Seattle Mariners. Went on the DL with a concussion. I mean, that was a scary moment.
Grew up in Canada, British Columbia. He's had some big home run seasons. He hit 41 last year between AAA and the big leagues.
I like that.
And knocked in 121 runs.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Chopping down trees with one chop.
And look out on this next pitch. Little tardy on a fastball.
Still hit it a long ways though. Foul. That went off the facing of the second deck over there from a left-handed hitter. Paul Bunyan trying to go deep.
Three-two pitch, and it's ball 4 high, so the inning continues.
That's the fellow that took the ricochet off the facing of that second deck. Looks like it got him in the elbow. That's Smarts. He's got a pretty good solid grimace on his face right now.
There's a dent in there. Now Michael Kadire. Sean Estes probably will look back on his outing here tonight and rue the walk to Kadire as much as anything else. It's when the Twins had scored a run on a double, a ground out, and a sac fly, but there were 2 out and nobody on. And the Diamondbacks at the time still led by 2. But then Estes walked Kadire, allowed a single to Juan Castro, and then took the one hopper off his thumb, which forced him to leave the game, loading the bases, bringing in Koplo, who allowed the 2-run single to tie it up. And now Herges has given up a home run. Jam shot Papa behind the plate and out of play. Still no score in San Diego. They've gone to the 7th inning. The Diamondbacks, of course, next weekend, not this coming weekend, the following weekend, will go to Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Another 3-city road trip for the Diamondbacks.
Man.
It'll start in Chicago next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, an off day on Thursday, and then play Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Cleveland, and then 4 games against the Giants in San Francisco. One and 2, and fouled back out of play again. Well, the Diamondbacks have 3 more cracks at them now. Down a run, they'll have the top of the order. Counsell, Tracy, and Gonzales. We talked about this Minnesota bullpen. Man, it is mighty good.
Led by Joe Nathan.
Yeah,
their closer.
the former shortstop in the Giants organization who quit playing baseball when they wanted to make him a pitcher. And it's going to be a bigger comeback than that. 2-run home run by Kadire on a 1-2 pitch. And the struggles continue for the Arizona bullpen. 3rd highest ERA in the league.
Burgess went with a changeup there, hung it right about belly button high, and Kadire just mauled it. I mean, just felt high changeup, boom. Well, give the Twins credit. They could have easily got their dauber down when they gave up a 4 spot in the 1st inning, fell behind. Looked like the Diamondbacks were just going to get on cruise control, but no. These guys kept battling. Now they have a comfortable lead. That was a 2-out walk that came back to haunt Herges.
That ball in a straightaway center field should end the inning off the bat of Castro, and it does. 3 runs in the inning. Our game recap presented by Bank of America, the official bank of baseball. Torrey Hunter has hit baseballs about as hard as you can hit them his last 3 times up. He had a home run, a double, and then a home run in the 7th inning to break a 5-5 tie. I don't know if I've seen a guy in any game hit 3 balls and 3 straight at bats harder than Hunter has.
I mean, those were just rockets. Like I said, the second one that didn't go out might have been the hardest hit of all of them.
Well, now on the pitch, we mentioned he's lived here in the Valley for a long time. Veteran Terry Mulholland, and he'll be facing Craig Counsell, Chad Tracy, Luis Gonzales. 3 straight left-handed batters.
The ageless Terry Mulholland.
Well, he's had a very good career.
He sure has.
I mean, a really good career. Bouncing ball up the middle, cut off by Abernathy. One away.
When I played with Terry Mulholland in Chicago, we were both getting up there in years, and he always told me, he said, Gracie, I'll quit when they tear the uniform off of him. Evidently nobody has yet.
Nope.
Minnesota's got him. He's doing a heck of a job.
Just turned 42 years old. Grew up in Uniontown, PA. He was the first-round draft choice of the San Francisco Giants in 1984.
You know, all these young bullpen guys that the Twins have. It's good to have a veteran presence out there, a leader like Terry Mulholland. Teach everybody the finer points of pitching.
Chad Tracy, a base hit into center field. His second hit. Being for it back.
Well, it's an uphill climb, Tom. But with the base runner on, the G-force has a chance. Get him right back in the game.
Mulholland in his career has pitched for the Giants, the Phillies, the Yankees, Seattle, the Cubs, Giants again, Cubs again, Atlanta, the Pirates, the Dodgers, Cleveland, now Minnesota.
How's he looking?
Still looking pretty good.
A little road weary. Well, if you saw the numbers from Luis Gonzales on Terry Mulholland, you know why Terry Mulholland's in the game. Luis Gonzales only 2 for 18 lifetime off this left hand.
But Gonzo right now is red hot.
No question.
Couple of hits tonight, 3 runs batted in. And ahead in the count now 2-0. Gonzo now with 9 home runs and 38 runs batted in. He has become the team leader now in RBIs. It's been a long time since anyone else but Troy Gloss has led in the RBI category.
Well, pretty much from day one.
Yep. 2-0 pitch. And a ground ball should be a double play. And it is. That's it. We go to the 8th, 8-5, Minnesota. Right after the ball game on the Arizona Sports Report. Stay tuned for those stories and more. 8-5, Minnesota leads. Matt Hergis in there to face Michael Ryan, who bats for Mulholland. And Mulholland gives him 1 solid inning. Allows 1 hit, no runs. This is the #1 bullpen in all of Major League Baseball. #1, the Minnesota Twins. A 2.41 ERA. Of course, the Diamondbacks hoping they can get their best 2 relievers back and healthy again, and they need them quickly. Brandon Lyon and Greg Aquino, the closer last year. Aquino is considerably closer than Lyon.
Yeah, I think Lyon's still a ways away.
But boy, do they need him.
Oof.
Either one of them. Strike 3 called to Michael Ryan to begin the 8th inning. Chris Myers returns to FSN in a series of half-hour specials. CMI, the Chris Myers interview, premieres with Jose Canseco Sunday at 5, only on FSN Arizona.
He gets Canseco out of the gate, huh?
On the ground, Stewart, Clayton, 2 away. Well, Hergis in his second inning of work gave up a home run, then a 2-out walk, then another home run. Part of a 3-run Minnesota 7th inning to take the lead. Twins were down in this game 4-0. They were down 5-2. They got 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. They have scored in 4 consecutive innings. Five of the runs charged to Estes, although Koplov allowed the game-tying single. A 2-run single to the first batter he faced, Shannon Stewart, in that 3-run 6th inning. And then Herges gave up the 3 in the 7th. Fly ball, short left center field. Cruz will get there, and the inning is over. Gloss, Green, Cruz coming up. Well, Troy Gloss will lead things off in the Diamondbacks' 8th inning. Trailing 8-5. Dennis Lamb making sure everything's okay with the booth, wearing his Vote for Troy t-shirt. They have the Vote for Troy, Vote for Gonzo, and Vote for Craig. Craig Counsell in the spirit of voting this Saturday, June 11th, during the D-backs All-Star Ballot Party at 3 o'clock at Sliders. That's right on the Bank One Ballpark Plaza. Prize giveaway every 15 minutes. Stop on by and vote often.
The modeling career.
So Gloss to begin things against Juan Rincon. Luis Rodriguez has taken over at second base. Rincon a hard thrower, but can get a little wild. As you can see, 9 walks, 24 innings, but it's not giving up a home run. I mean, this guy is among the best setup guys in all of baseball.
No question. He's bringing it. But he falls behind 2-0, and now you're looking for base runners. It's got to be your pitch in your spot for you to be swinging right now.
Ball 3.
Well, the slider there, 2-0. Good job by Gloss. He was taken all the way.
D-backs need a rally here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Joe Nathan is the Minnesota closer. Rio pitch, and it's in there strike. Same thing here. 3-1 is 2-0, right?
Absolutely. It's got to be. I'm sure Gloss is going to be looking for a fastball right down the middle. Anything else, he's got to take it. Ended up swinging at ball 4 there.
He takes a leadoff walk.
Good at bat there by Troy Gloss. It's got to start somewhere, Tom, and that's the way to do it. And that'll bring up another guy on a mini roll right now, and that's Shawn Green.
Well, the Diamondbacks in the opening inning. 4 runs and 5 hits. Since then, 1 run, 5 hits over the next 6 innings. Up and in, ball 1 to Shawn Green. Green an RBI double in that 4-run first inning. A single in the 3rd. Hit the ball very hard, but right at LeCroy his last time up.
And if you want to ever just really get your manager upset with you, go on out for the bottom of the 8th inning and walk the leadoff man and fall behind the next batter. That'll make the fans say, come on.
One 1-0 to count on Shawn Green. Cardi on a 1-0 fastball, dumps it foul and out of play. Closed captioning on tonight's broadcast provided by Pennzoil. Give your engine what it wants, not just oil. Pennzoil. One pitch. Green got jammed with a fastball at 94.
I mean, Rincon is rushing it up there. He ain't messing around. Here it is. Let's play ball.
One and two to count. Look out. Well, thankfully, that's Green sitting there.
Claudio Vargas got that foul ball.
1 and 2 on Green. Leadoff man aboard. Struck him out bottom, fell out of that pitch. Mercy.
There's the slider after some gas for Sean Green to get ahead. Drops the slider on and gets him way out in front. That's just a nasty pitch. Cruz probably going to see some fastballs from Rincon. Let's see if he can catch up with one. Gas. Right by Jose Cruz. I mean, a great fastball hitter. He was looking for it. Rincon threw it right by him.
Cruz digging in. He has 7 home runs this season. And the 0-1 pitch is too low. Another fastball. That one in 95. Juan Rincon, hard throwing. Minnesota right-handed. The 1-1 pitch. And it's into left center field, a base hit. On to second goes Gloss. So the Diamondbacks have the tying run coming to the plate. And don't forget who's always lurking down in that dugout, Big Tony Clark.
The Diamondbacks version of Paul Bunyan. There he is right there. Big Tony Clark putting a helmet on. Alex Cintron going to hit for Royce Clayton. Bob Melvin going to go with the left-handed hitter. The red hot Alex Cintron. Tony Clark going to go get on deck. So these are the chances that Bob Melvin looks for. And Jose Cruz, you're not going to throw too many fastballs by him.
Cintron, an RBI double, had a single, scored twice yesterday in Philadelphia. Has a 6-game hitting streak, which he's hit 400, 8 for his last 20. Fastball, and Tardy on that swing got jammed with it, but dumped it foul.
We talk about it a lot, Tom. Alex Cintron is a good fastball hitter, but he likes the ball down. He's not nearly as good on the high fastball, and Rincon seems to like to elevate it. Alex going to have to really be quick to catch up with that good fastball from Rincon.
2 on, 1 out. 0-1 to Alex Cintron. Swing and a miss. Slide piece.
Slider.
And now Alex is falling behind. No balls, 2 strikes. Diamondbacks trailing by 3. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Grounded foul.
That's more where Alex likes the ball, even below the knees. You throw him something down around there, he can go dig it out with the best of them. Once you get around belt high or higher, that's where he struggles. Multiple glasses.
Oh, 2 again. Struck him out on the fastball up, and again Alex chased it, and he's gone swinging.
Well, this is the high fastball we talk about, and Alex has trouble laying off those. You can see he's just not near as quick up as he is down.
Cleveland batting in the top of the 9th inning. Grady Sizemore has reached to begin the Cleveland ninth. No score in the game. And now here's Tony Clark. So hot on the road trip. And he looks at a first pitch fastball at the knees, a strike. Clark's numbers as a pinch hitter, staggering. A pair of home runs, 10 runs batted in. His overall numbers are staggering. You consider not even 100 at bats yet this season for Tony Clark, and 27 runs batted in. Fouled back out of play, 0-2.
Well, Rincon, no fear in that kid out there. He's just rearing back and challenging each and every one of these Diamondback hitters. No question, Tony Clark's been the best at his craft, but he finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
And Rincon delivers. Fastball up. Hoping that Clark would chase that pitch up in the zone. 1-2. Kelly Stinnett has moved in the on-deck circle. Clark is batting for Snyder. So Kelly's going to come in the game in the top of the 9th. 1-2 pitch to Tony Clark. Sails high and away to even the count.
Now Rincon has just overthrown those last 2 fastballs. He's feeling it. He's feeling strong. He's got the juices flowing out there. He knows what he's up against. He's got one of the best in the business in Tony Clark, and he's just overthrown those last 2 pitches.
Loss and Cruz aboard with 2 out, and the 2-2 pitch. High drive, straight away center field. Tony Clark has done it again. This man has been unbelievable.
Are you kidding me, Tom Brenneman? This is crazy.
I mean, what this guy is doing, I've never seen anything like it. In 2 months, doing what this guy's doing.
He gets a slider right there, and Paul Bunyan of the Diamondbacks way back to center field. Look at Chad Tracy. Look at the rest of that Diamondback dugout erupt. Tony Clark.
This guy needs a curtain call.
Oh, no question.
I mean, if there's anybody that needs a curtain call, that's Tony Clark.
Step out of the box, Kelly.
Pops up the very first pitch. And the inning is over. Tony Clark. In less than 100 at bats, 8 home runs, 30 batted in, and you can remember every one. Reminder, a little bit later starting time tomorrow, 7:10. Your schedules at home say 6:40, but it is 7:10 with the Diamondbacks countdown getting underway at 6:30 with Todd and Mark Green.
Well, Tom, if this is what interleague baseball is all about, I love it. This has been one heck of a baseball game played by both teams.
All right, Jose Valverde. Well, the game tied at 8. Delivers strike 1 to Joe Mauer. Mauer to be followed by Hunter and Jock Jones. Big inning here for Valverde. Somebody needs to establish themselves down in that Diamondback bullpen. Everybody's taking their lumps of late. One and one. Threw a fastball right by him. 1-2 pitch. Good play by Tracy. That's a real nice play.
That was a terrific play. That was a bullet off the bat of Mauer. That first bounce is right out there in no man's land. You stay in front of it. And it comes right up into the glove. That's a good play, and that's not near as easy of a play as Chad Tracy made it look. Look out here, Thomas. Big Torrey Hunter.
Well, we talked about his last 3 at bats. I mean, he is just, as you like to say, Gracie, kissed 3 pitches.
Yeah, he has mauled them. Valverde broke out the split finger first pitch and got strike 1. Let's see if he stays with it or if he goes with the gas.
0-1. And a gas. Or maybe not. Only 86 miles an hour.
That was the split.
Yeah, stayed up in the strike zone.
It doesn't matter tonight what you throw Torrey Hunter. He's going to hit it hard. You just hope it stays in the ballpark.
Well, twice they haven't kept him in a park.
And this is a split that just hangs right up in the zone and whack.
And you know that Torrey Hunter will be thinking about running.
Oh, no question. Valverde is not very fast to the plate. Kelly Stinnett does throw well, but Valverde's got to give him a chance with the speed of Torrey Hunter.
Well, interleague baseball, you can tell, can provide some great baseball. Good crowd here tonight, taking advantage of our interleague special. And for those of you who would like to still buy tickets at Diamondbacks.com, you'll receive $2 off any interleague game homestand by using the promotional code INTERLEAGUE. Get a $2 voucher as well for a future home game this year. Fastball fouled out of play. Jones broke his back.
He'll fling it in disgust and get himself a new wand. Valverde just romping and stomping out there. Take a walk, big boy. He's way off the mound.
Now he's ready. 0-1 to Jock Jones. Torrey Hunter at first with 1 away here, and there he goes. And now Valverde will throw to second. And it's into center field. Now they throw back, and they miss the tag. Holy Moses. Cintrone took his eye off the ball initially. It went into center field. Counsell alertly went out there to get it. They had Hunter dead a second time, and Alex missed the tag.
Well, here it is. Valverde does a good job. His throw's a little high, but Alex takes his eye off the ball. Takes a whack in the face. Counsell throws behind him, and whoa.
We saw that happen recently in another game we did where the shortstop thought the same thing, the exact same thing. I'm trying to remember the game we had where that happened recently.
Yeah, it happened to Craig Counsell.
Exactly.
Thought he had a rundown play. Couldn't see him out of the corner of his eye, and that's exactly what happened with Alex there. He was expecting a rundown, didn't see Torrey Hunter belly back, just went to take off, and Torrey Hunter was right underneath him. Boy, if you're a D-back fan, you got to hope that doesn't come back to haunt you. I mean, you should have 2 outs and nobody on as we speak.
And a base hit in right field. They're going to wave around Hunter. Here comes a throw by Green to the plate, and he is sick. And Bob Melvin comes sprinting out of the dugout. He's going to point and say that he never touched home.
Boy, Bob Melvin is fuming. You didn't see much of an argument from Stinnett. Green, another good, strong throw. That's a couple of them tonight, right on the button. And it looked like he did get it. He may have, it's tough to tell there. Let's see if he gets that hand on the plate. Looked like he just grazed it. Ended up being the right call by Las Diaz. Valverde gets in his way. Boy, it's tough to, how could Las Diaz see if he did or not? Jose Valverde was right in his way. But I think he got the call right.
Morneau, a swing and a miss. Well, the bottom line is, you said it, Gracie. Bottom line is, there should have been 2 out with nobody on, and that's just a single in the right field. They charged Valverde with a throwing error on that play at second base.
That was certainly catchable.
Sharp grounder to Counsell. 2 away in the inning.
Yeah, it looks like he got his hand right there.
And no doubt. I mean,
it was the right call by Las Diaz. But I could certainly see where Bob Melvin was thinking it, because to the naked eye, in fast motion, I guess you could say, it looked like he could easily miss the plate, but he did get his hand on it.
Now Kadire, who hit the big 2-run home run off Hergis in the 7th inning.
And I'll bet you that's probably something Bob Melvin saw. He saw that. How do you know? Because big Jose Valverde was right in your eyesight.
Popped up in the foul ground. Tracy over near the stands, runs out of room. So no sooner did the Diamondbacks get that game-tying 3-run home run off the bench by Tony Clark, who, by the way, sets a Diamondbacks franchise record with 5 consecutive pinch hit hits.
Man, I didn't have 5 in my career.
He has 5 in a row.
Big Tony Clark. You know what? He doesn't care one bit right now. I can promise you that.
But once again, I mean, you hate to belabor the point, but even though the numbers don't say that every Diamondback reliever's been scored upon in this game, for all intents and purposes, they have. Couple of not charged with the runs, but gave up
the big 2-out hit.
2-out, 2-run single. That one down to Gloss, and the inning is over. So can the Diamondbacks do it again? Top of the order coming up. Not allowed a run in 20 of his 25 appearances this season. 87% in his career converting saves. Did not allow a run in 28 straight appearances. That was last year. He was an all-star. Strike one to Craig Counsell. We told you he was a converted infielder in the Giants organization, and when they wanted to make him a pitcher, he quit. Went home. Realized, well, playing baseball is a lot better than this. So he came back. One hopper down to first. One away. Well, the Diamondbacks have Tracy and Gonzales. Valverde in line for the decision here tonight. And Rincon would vulture a win, should he?
You
come
got
out
that
on the
right.
winning side.
This would be one of the ultimate vultures. They're swirling above the stadium as we speak.
One 1-0 the count on Chad Tracy. And he takes outside 2-0. Now Gonzo is 3 for 3 in his career against Joe Nathan, with a couple of home runs, but Again, we mentioned it's a very different Joe Nathan that's out there these days than the one that pitched for the Giants. Two and one to Tracy. And a liner in the right field. A base hit. Third hit tonight for Chad Tracy.
Well, Tommy, no matter who you put out there at first base, you're going to have a good hitter. Whether it's Chad Tracy or Tony Clark, Bob Melton's going to have a good hitter at first base.
Chad, the tying run aboard, and here comes Gonzo.
And believe me, Gonzo knows the numbers. Nathan knows the numbers. It ain't guesswork out there with those two guys.
Not only the 2 home runs, but also a couple of walks. Pitch on the way to Luis Gonzales. Is low and in, ball 1. A wild one at the old ballpark tonight. Rally caps abound.
That's a good one. Well, Pope look.
1-0 the count on Gonzo. Nathan delivers. Foul back to the screen. A ball and a strike.
Now Gonzo got his pitch there. Something down and out over. Had a good rip at it. Fouled it straight back. Nathan not backing down from the challenge.
Cleveland and San Diego scoreless at the end of 9 at Petco Park. Tigers lead the Dodgers 8-4. Kansas City beating up on the Giants in the bottom of the 9th 8-1. 1-1 to Luis Gonzales. And Nathan, a long pause in the pitch. Fastball high. Gonzo tonight a 2-run double has bounced to second. Hit a solo home run in the 5th and bounced into a double play ending the 7th. 2-1 delivery. Oh, he had a good rip there. Gonzo a couple of home runs over the weekend in Philadelphia. One more tonight. And one swing at the bat away right now from giving the Diamondbacks a win. 2-2 pitch. Rounded foul.
Nathan went with the breaking ball that time. Gonzo was right there, but just pulled it foul.
Nine runs, 13 hits for Minnesota, 8 runs, 13 hits for the Diamondbacks, and the one big error is a difference in this game. The only error committed in this game, allowing an unearned run to score in this top of the 9th inning. Tracy the tying run at first. 2-2 to Gonzo. Struck him out on a fastball at 96 miles per hour.
He got Gonzo to chase the high fastball. Gonzo's a lot like Cintron in that sense that he likes the ball down, he chases up, and that's the way you can get Gonzo, if you can get him to chase up.
Well, now it's up to Troy Glaus. 0 for 3 tonight. Pitch on the way. Fastball thrown right by him at 97.
You think this guy's not pumped up, Tom? 97 miles an hour on the heater to big Troy Glaus.
Glaus hitless in his last 12 at bats. One ball and one strike.
Well, win or lose, Tom, this has been a terrific baseball game.
Bloss looking for his first home run since May the 25th. 1-1. Pops it up, and this should end the game. And it will. Minnesota scores in 5 separate innings tonight. And they beat the Diamondbacks 9-8. So game 2 of this series coming your way tomorrow right here on FSN Arizona. Claudio Vargas will make his Diamondback debut against Johan Santana. We'll be on the air at 6:30. First pitch at 7 o'clock. It's time now for the Arizona Sports Report.